All right, we're moving on to meeting 4 of 8, Greater Vancouver Sewage and Drainage District. It has been revised with item 2.1. Would someone like to move the agenda? Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Oops. Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah, right. Okay, well, we'll just pause there. Well, I'll move the minutes. Minutes from October 28th. Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. I should have done this before, but these big, huge trophies that we won here were blocking my view. They're actually not that heavy either. So Metro Vancouver came away with a pair of awards at the National Water and Wastewater Conference in Toronto. This year, the conference was hosted by the Canadian Water and Wastewater Association, had a film festival theme, and featured videos produced by local governments or utilities about water and liquid wastewater issues. Metro Vancouver submitted 2 videos, and our PSA, the Unflushables, if you recall that, won 2 awards. The humorous video used a whiteboard-style animation to show why you should never flush wipes down the toilet. It beat out a dozen other entries from across Canada, and it also won the coveted People's Choice Award, which is this one. It's already broken on the back. Sorry, Daryl. For being the favorite video of conference attendees. Mr. Disposable Wipes and his infamous gang of Unflushables also won Best Villain category. I thought that might have been, never mind. I know we're very proud of our staff for continually finding new and effective ways to educate our public about utility issues, and it's great to say our communications initiatives continue to receive recognition from our peers across the country. Earlier this year, our Never Flush Wipes pilot project won a Utility Excellence Awards for community outreach by a large utility from the Canadian Water and Wastewater Association. So there's a theme here. So congratulations to Heather Shoemaker, Gord Ingus, Lorena Lopez on external relations, with support from Simon So, Devin Keon, sorry, again, I knew I was going to get that wrong, Keonja, and Jeff Gogol, from Liquid Waste Services. I'm terrible with names, you guys know that. So anyways, thanks to all of our staff for doing a fabulous job of putting those all together, and it is nice to get recognition every once in a while. It's like the Stanley Cup, right? Yeah. All right, we'll make sure those don't get lost in the trophy case behind. Something even smaller. Anyways, all right, so back to our Greater Vancouver Sewage and Drainage District. We have already moved the agenda and the minutes, so we're on to the consent agenda. And Vice Chair Louis.
2.1.
2.1. Would anybody else like to remove anything from the consent agenda? Seeing none, moved and seconded, last chance. All those in favor, opposed, carried. Vice Chair Louis, did you want to move the?
Yes, I'll move 2.1.
Is there a second? Seconded. Over to you, Vice Chair Louis.
Just because there was a revision coming out of Intergovernmental and Finance Committee that we do some work at Intergov. That the thought was that because this is a component of the multiple financial charges that we will be layering in over a number of years for infrastructure upgrades across the region, that the fuller information in regards to what our 5-year capital plan would be should be made available if we're going out to public consultation. And so before we go to public consultation on this component, that we would have that plan in place and coordinate at a regional level with our initiatives and perhaps others as well, so that the public would get a better understanding of what the financial impact would be to them more specifically with that fuller information. So it's prudent for us to wait. Just those comments, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for that. We appreciate it. Director Villeneuve.
Well, I think it's important to emphasize, if I'm correct, that the DCCs have not been raised since 1997. And that seems, I was stunned to see that, to tell you the truth, because I know in cities, especially with the rapid rate of development, we've pushed for development cost increases to actually keep up with that infrastructure. So I think this review is long overdue. And I mean, I think that the phasing in period is one of the suggestions and probably going to be the most palatable, but certainly no longer than 3 years. Because I do think, the infrastructure projects that we have now coming down the line are demanding high financial input. And so everyone in the region needs to take responsibility for that because they're all benefiting from the infrastructure that we're putting in place. So I found this a pretty interesting report, and I'm glad we're going through that review process.
Thank you. Director Harris.
Yes, thanks very much. I'm under the section of, I'm supportive of this, under the section under consultation process. It says that there's an intention to engage in the broader community consultation with community stakeholders over the next 3 months. Are staff able to give us any idea of what's going to be happening over the next 3 months? And I'll follow up then later with staff of how this is going to be done out in the university area. But I just wondered if you could fill us in a bit on that, please.
Sure. Ms. Mason?
Thank you, through the chair. Actually, we're not going to go out to consultation right away. We're going to wait until after we've done the board workshop at the end of February and then adopted a 5-year financial plan, so you understand household impact by the sub-regions, and then go out to public consultation. And so we are going to put a process together to not only deal with, to not only meet with industry stakeholders like the development community, but also open houses with the public throughout the region. So we can talk to you directly, Director Harris, in terms of electoral area A, and we'll certainly be working with our member municipalities on how best to communicate with the various public entities in the region.
Great. So if I understand correctly, thank you for that. Then the consultation will take place sometime after the board workshop, so February or later. Is that
I would actually think it's going to be April through June.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Seeing no other speakers, we'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Resolution to close under 91E, G, and I. Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Motion to adjourn. Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.